Define apophatic, ? What are the characteristics of the apophatic way? Who are the teachers from our tradition that support your understanding of the apophatic way? Well, to be perfectly frank, I say to hell with the apophatic way. I think it's a dreadful distinction and confuses people more than enlightens them. But since the wretched word is now firmly implanted in the tradition, there's not much you can do about it. Cataphatic, apophatic, what does that mean? I mean, it's just words. The thing that's confusing about it is that apophatic only means non-conceptual, the way of unknowing. But it doesn't mean the way of unknowing everything. It just means that during the time of prayer, you are developing a capacity to go beyond thinking in symbols in order to commune with God. But that doesn't mean you do that all the time. Now there are a few people who are so advanced that their faculties don't budge except under the influence of the Spirit. But I think there are mighty few of those good souls. Most of us, you know, after coming out of centering prayer, then you go to the liturgy, you might say the office, you have ministry, you're talking all the time, and you're perfectly capable of studies, even higher degrees. You can do anything. It's just when you come to prayer, you can't do anything. The Holy Spirit has finished giving grace to the ordinary faculties of imagination, visualization, and effective prayer. He's finished with that. He's tired of that. And so he likes to go right to the point, which is to put you in a place of interior solitude, interior silence, and peace. And this is where the reason that's so good is because it's like an interview in the doctor's office where he can do this marvelous psychotherapy when you're most at rest. And that's when you begin to see the primitive emotions and all the stages of earlier life that need to be reviewed, healed, and also rescued so that they can be of value to you in later life. So I see a continuum between cataphatic and apophatic, not an opposition. The cataphatic, rightly done, leads to the capacity to move beyond thoughts and feelings, and then you're in the apophatic. So I hesitate to say there's an apophatic way. There may be an apophatic emphasis in some people who are really contemplatives, but I think much experience, like take the great fathers of the church. They were many of them were very advanced contemplatives, but that didn't prevent them from Sunday from giving some marvelous images and exhortations. In other words, the apophatic way actually throws light on all the other things that are of value, sacraments, images, symbols, and so on, so that they have a deeper meaning and they have a certain unction. So the quality of someone who is a contemplative and who is giving homilies and so on is that the spirit of wisdom inspires them to come up with apt images to awaken in the hearers the substance of the mysteries of our faith as they are celebrated throughout the year. So these are not two opponents. These are brothers and sisters. This is Mary and Martha, so to speak. They live in the same house. They even have Lazarus to join them, who's a symbol of the post-apophatic experience that we heard about a few times, to my amazement, during the earlier part of this conference. Lazarus represents, obviously, someone who has died to the false self and risen again. That is, who has enjoyed the inner resurrection that is symbolized by this material after having been through the corruption of the tomb, so to speak. He not only died, but was beginning to corrupt. So he's a lively image of the dark nights and how one feels during that state. And then we see him sitting down for supper with Simon the leper and Judas the thief and Mary Magdalene, a former prostitute. In other words, with the usual Sunday congregations. Well, that's all I can say about the apophatic. I try to avoid it as much as I can in teaching because there's so many misconceptions about it. But if I'm tied to say something, I would say cataphatic is a preparation for apophatic, and once having been in moments of pure awareness, then one returns to express it in cataphatic terms through symbols and conversation and ministry and whatever. So they work together.